Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a cool little fun one. We're counting down my personal top 6 favorite black metal albums. Top 5, really just everyone does 5. Black metal is full of dark, satanic, evil things, and of course the number 6. So let us kick off by starting with number 6. Righto, so straight away we're going to start off with number 6, and for me that comes for this record. We have Wataine's Sworn to the Dark. How'd you like that? So Wataine's Sworn to the Dark comes in for me at number 6 as a top album, simply because two things. One, have you seen this band live? And two, have you heard anything by these guys? Everything that comes out of this band is just evil and fast and dark and just wow. This album in particular stands out as easily their top. To me, this is their best album anyway. Double-sided album for this one. We've got two LPs. We got 4 sides of just pure evil and just darkness worship. It's just awesome. Side D and C and D, the second LP, C and D are stand out, just brilliant. The title track, Sworn to the Dark, is incredible. It's just, as you heard my re-edition, it's just this loud, powerful, evil chorus. Under the Center Path and the Serpent's Chalice, they're just so evil. But what really brings this one out for me is the last song on the album, Stellar Vor, where it's just this evil, just this almost chanting vibe. You can imagine being in an altar and just God of Death manifest, it's just this evil vibe. It's just so bone-chillingly scary and powerful, and everything about it is just awesome. Number 6, Wataine, Sworn to the Dark. Quickly moving along through the list. This won't take very long. I'm just doing this to kill time. I've been in the middle of moving house, and I'm now in my little setup room, so it's still not finished, but hey, what else to do when you're sick at home with flu-like symptoms? Coming in at number 5, we tackle the OG, Mayhem's De Mysteris Dom Satanis. Now, if anyone's heard any sort of black metal song but didn't know where it came from, I probably guarantee that it came from this album. Mayhem are OG pioneers of second wave of black metal, true Norwegian black metal. Make sure we get that part out there, emphasize on that, very important. Name a more iconic song than Freezing Moon. I'll wait for it, but just, yeah, honestly, two sides of more just pure, not as well produced as Wataine's albums, I'll say that, and definitely the singing, if anything, the singing might be the one thing that puts you off, which is funny because obviously that's something that puts a lot of people off for black metal, but this isn't typical black metal vocal style. With this, instead of that Cookie Monster, that's death metal. Instead of that, phlegmy, sick vomit kind of vocal style, you get, it's very drony and might take some getting used to, but honestly, chuck it on, put it on loud, get it on a good system, maybe get some liquor in you. That's how I really appreciated what this album offered when I properly listened to it. But anyway, my favorite track is probably Cursed in Eternity, because I just sat here listening to it and it was just, everything was just going off at once. It was just awesome. Obviously, Funeral Fog comes from this album as well. Funeral Fog. It's just, yes, it's so good. Freezing Moon, the OG, obviously. Life Eternal. They're all just, this album is just boss. Honestly, if you're going to check out any kind of black metal album, I highly recommend you start with this one. Mayhem, De Mysteris, Dom Satanis. Number 4, like I say, quickly getting through, it's just a quick video to fill in time, to be honest. Number 4 was honestly quite hard because I was tossing up between this band's, either this album or one that came earlier. But I think after much consideration and, really taking it in, I had to go with Dark Throne's Under a Funeral Moon. Not A Blaze in a Northern Sky. However, I will highly recommend A Blaze in the Northern Sky. But please, if you can get your hands on Under a Funeral Moon, I highly recommend you check this one out. What's cool about the Dark Throne black metal era of Dark Throne, the first couple of albums, is all the production constantly changes the whole time. If you're looking for a death metal vibe, go look at Soulside Journey. Very, very cool album, but it's not a black metal album, so we're not really going to talk about that today. What came next is A Blaze in the Northern Sky, which, funnily enough, just for fun, I will show So this is a great album, don't get me wrong, but we're going to talk about Under a Funeral Moon. These are both really cold feeling, and again with that whole you need to really embrace these albums. You can't listen to them in summer. So all you Northern Hemisphere folk who are, in the middle of summer right now, maybe just wait a few months before you get your hands on some of these. But if you're like me and you live in the Southern Hemisphere, this is a great time to chuck this stuff on. Natasha and Eternal Sleep is probably one of the more favorite ones for me. That one and the Dance of Eternal Shadows is awesome. And just the crack-up song, Unholy Black Metal, what more do you want? But then, what's really cool, pounding and thundery is probably the first side on side 2. The first song on side 2, To Walk the Eternal Fields, is just insane. And the title track for Under a Funeral Moon, again, highly recommended. Now that I think about it more, I'm always going to think about it. Just listen to either of these, and if you can get through these, maybe, if you can listen to this and think, yeah, that doesn't actually sound bad, maybe you'll be able to handle Transylvanian Hunger, Gold. So that production gets really down. Go listen to it and you'll see what I mean. Sweet as. Moving up through the list now, we got number 3. Now, this is probably one of the first black metal albums that I listened to properly, where I was like, okay, I can kind of get where the fans come from for why they like black metal. And it wasn't Dark Throne, and it wasn't that. It was the oh-so-comedic Immortal. I put a post up on Instagram a while ago, when I bought this album about 3 years ago, saying not all black metal is satanic, not all black metal is evil. This is probably the most, if power metal and black metal crossed paths and had a baby, it would probably be Immortal, purely because black metal, Immortal have obviously the black metal vibe in terms of vocals. It's that flu-like vocal style kind of thing. But there's no reference, despite what it looks like, there's no reference to satanic lifestyle anywhere. It's all about fantasy stuff, and it's just cold. It's just, the songs are just so cold. That's all I can describe. Immortal's Northern Chaos Gods is number 3 for me. The title track is awesome. First song, they just kick it off and it's just bang. Into Battle Ride, every song on this album has a standalone catchy riff to stand out, to remember it, like Grim and Dark has an awesome breakdown part where it's just like, you can imagine a crowd just chanting it back to the singers. It's really cool. Calls to Ice is fun. Where Mountains Rise is pretty much Where Eagles Dare from Maiden in black metal form. They use the same riff, but it fits really, really cool. And because the drums are just going 900 miles an hour, it's just really, really, it's really, really cool. Blacker of Worlds is fun. It's just another dark world demise kind of song. But then the Mammoth, the Mariner, the Opus, Mighty Raven Dark. That was the song that triggered me to think maybe black metal's not as bad as it is. Honestly, go listen to Mighty Raven Dark from Immortal. It's a 10-minute track. It was pretty risky to put it at the end of the album, but I would have put it earlier, but maybe not. I take that back, because it's like Rime of the Ancient Mariner from Iron Maiden. It's a 13-minute song they've chucked on the end of the album. But anyway, Mighty Raven Dark, honestly, such a killer song, such a killer album, and that's why for me, this comes in at number 3. Now, number 2 might make you shake a few heads and might make you raise a few eyebrows, but just hear me out, okay? Some people might not say this is a black metal album, others might say it's more of a doom metal album, but if you listen to the first song, you'll get what I mean. Number 2 for me comes as Woods of Ipir, Woods 5, Grey Skies, and Electric Light. yes, I will put my hands up and say this is not, compared to everything else that we've talked about today, this is not really a black metal album, apart from a few vocal lines. The opening to the first song, Lightning and Snow, has has a black metal intro, vocally, but then after that it just becomes this low, real, almost spoken lyric vocal style, as opposed, but it's still at the same time very, very tuneful. If you're like me and you can't sing high notes or whatever, this is really the band to try to show you what you can do with a low voice. It's really, really cool. Again, a bit like most of these albums, there's not a bad song on this record, I swear. Lightning and Snow is amazing. It's a great opener. It's really, really fun. It's a very sad album, I will say. It's a very, very sad album, and it helped me a lot when I was really sad. But honest to God, Lightning and Snow is awesome. Traveling Alone is probably one of my top favorites. It's about being confronted by a religious man and basically saying, no, I'm fine. But it's a lot more than that. Adora Vivos, it's I don't know what language it is. I want to say Latin, but I'm probably wrong. Talks about how, what is it? We shouldn't worship the dead. Once they're dead, they're gone, kind of thing. It's a very self-hate album. It's a very depressing album. Silver is a great song. They're all about breaking up with someone and just being alone and hating yourself, really. And then the second half of the second side, Kiss My Ashes Goodbye, a big 11-minute anthem, which, big anthem regarding suicide. So if you're really, really feeling down, don't listen to it if you're treading that way. But if you're just feeling down and feel like feeling yuck, chuck it on. It'll comfort you. It comforted me, and really very, despite how dark and moody it is, it's very, very musical. I highly recommend, please listen to this. And if you like this, then go check out the album prior, Woods 4, the Green album. Very, very cool. Honest to God. Rest in peace, David. Great albums. And now we come to the final pick of the top 6 black metalists, and it should come really as no surprise as number 1, the top 1 standalone black metal album that everybody should own, listen to, check out, is, in my opinion, the first black metal album, and that is Bathory's self-titled. Look at that. Look at that. What more evil, do you want? Obviously, we've had more evil in these days. This is 1983, 84, something like that. So at that time, it was pretty evil. So we've got Side Darkness and we've got Side Evil. So Side Darkness is probably my favorite one. This is probably one of the world's quickest albums. It's up there with Mayhem's EP Death Crush, only coming in at like 24, 26 minutes or something like that. Death Crush might even be shorter, I don't know. But every song on here is quick and just really, really cool and really evil. Hades and Reaper are really fun to play. Necromancy's more, I won't say boppy, but they're all real catchy. My favorite from this album is probably Sacrifice, really, really cool. And then In Conspiracy with Satan is always fun. Armageddon, Raise the Dead and War, they're all honestly just good. If you're going to listen to anything that I've shown you here today, make sure it's this one. Well, I'd be very happy if you listen to all of them, at least one song of all of them, but this one is less than half an hour of your time. Do yourself a favor. Go get it, or get on Spotify and then listen to it. Honestly, it's such a good album. Bathory. Right, literally, like I said, just racing through a quick video here today just because it's been a while and I really, really want to get this back into the swing of everything. I hope you enjoyed that video. There'll be more musical content coming soon. I've got a few rankings lined up. I've got one that I just need to listen to one more album properly just to kind of get it in my head, and then that one will be up soon. I'll do a setup of where we are. I'm in my own home now, so this is where I'm going to be doing all this stuff. But aside from that, the self-promotions, obviously, the Rossi Darlington Through the Eyes of Isolation album is still a work in progress. I've got songs on there. I've got Bandcamp. I've got everything everywhere. So if you feel the need to go check that out, support, and all that jazz, then go hard. If you want to just go and listen to it and then think, yeah, that's not bad, then carry on with your day. That's more than enough for me. But other than that, team, thank you so much for watching. and I will see you again soon with another one.